I am Olivia Robertson, and I offer to be your guide to attain cosmic consciousness of the goddess, mother of all beings, through the mystical awakening of the goddess Sekhmet in the constellation of Leo. I want you to have a glass of water nearby. You could turn off your tape and get one, and also anoint your brow with water. This helps to activate your third eye. Good. Please sit very, very comfortably, because we are going on a magical journey. I don't know what the date is for you, or where you are. I know one thing, though, you're in the future. You're a person I'm talking to in the future, and I'm a voice from the past. But we are both one in eternal reality. How can we contact eternal reality? We move from planetary, earthly consciousness to the sun and stars. Here we may be together. Please begin to rise from your body, yet retaining some earthly consciousness. Come back in time, back to the Opet festival of ancient Egypt, here enacted in the 20th century in the Temple of Isis in Clonigall Castle, Ireland. For over the Irish, the Gaels are descended, it is said, in the Lagabala era on the ancient texts, from the Egyptian princess Scota, the Dark One, daughter of the pharaoh Sincris. She gave her name, that Egyptian princess, to Greater Scota, Ireland, and to Lesser Scota, Scotland, from which we Robertsons come from, though we were from the clan Donarchy. The Gaels were called after their son. She married Neil or Nell, a Scythian, and they had a son called Gaelglas, Gaelglas, and he declared that all his progeny should be called Gael. However, whatever country you come from, America, Africa, wherever, you all enjoy the constellation of Leo. Come with me then, back in time and change place to Ireland, and look down upon a wood between two rivers that join, between the fork of two rivers, overlooked by a blue mountain in the Blackstairs Range, Mount Leinster, and this hidden valley is surrounded by hills. It is the evening before the festival of Opet, as the sun enters the constellation of Leo, leaving that of the crabs. The castle is a strange place, because we sink underground to the holy temple of Isis of 10,000 names, Aset, whose divine husband is Osiris, Osar. We observe now that we are approaching a priestly group who are drawing water from an ancient well within the castle. We see a beautiful priestess, beautiful that is in her aura, wearing the golden Hathor crown of Egypt, and she is drawing forth water. And another priestess, wearing the lion crown of Sekhmet, holds burning incense. And we see a stately priest wearing the full headdress of the pharaoh priest, black and blue, with a golden uraeus, a snake. And this is my brother, Lawrence Sturden Robertson. But what are they doing? They appear to be preparing to leave the temple. They are headed by the priest holding the crook of Osiris, and he's drawing them to a shrine. This is a temple of the zodiac, and he is approaching the sacred shrine of Sekhmet. This shows a carved lion carved by one of his ancestors, and a naked woman carved in local yew by my nephew David. This is the shrine of the goddess subduing the lion power, that lion power which is within the body. This is the tarot card, the enchantress who draws lion power up her body. And we see each of the priesthood and the congregation, about 40 people, salute Sekhmet. But they are leaving the temple, passing 9 columns in the form of the L of Isis, and they are leaving the portico of the temple and approach an ancient avenue of yew trees, 600 years old. Try and see them now, holding burning incense. The priestesses carrying gold bowls containing well water. Slowly they cross the grass, and it is still light, because it is after midsummer. Opet. And the moon is full, the moon of the god, the Khonsu. And the procession winds their way down a dark tunnel. Imagine yourself now going down a dark tunnel of ancient yew trees, reddish-brown trunks, intertwined now, so they intertwine with each other. And there's a light at the end, at the east. But the procession do not heed this. They turn sharply to the right, and you follow them into a wilderness with palm trees, fan palm trees and other exotic trees, so you could be anywhere, you could be in Egypt. Now, the priesthood turned to the left, past 2, not columns, but 2 sacred cypress trees. We are entering a sacred grove to the moon goddess, Isis Diana. The procession enters a whole circle of cypresses, and we look up, and they seem to reach the very stars. And there's a plain circle of the sky right above our heads, and we gaze up. But suddenly we realize the others are not looking upwards. They are gazing at the principal tree in the east. And seated there on a tree trunk, her back against a cypress tree, is a priestess. She is veiled in orange and wears the golden crown of the goddess Sekhmet, the lion crown of power. We realize with awe that the goddess herself is to be invoked.
We honor thee, the lion goddess, the strong, the mighty. In thy form as the serpent goddess Mehenet, thou dost pour blazing fire from the head of the sun god Ra. Thou dost declare, I set the fierce heat of the fire for a distance of millions of cubits between Osiris and his enemy. And I keep away from him the evil ones, and remove his foes from his habitation. Yet also thou art like unto Hathor, the goddess of love. Thou art the Lady of Amentet, Lady of Manu, the mountain of the setting sun of the world of spirits, and art queen of the western Libyan lands. With thy husband, the architect god Ptah, and with Mut, goddess of truth, thou didst plan the world with the 7 wise hawks of the goddess Me'art. Thou art the inner eye of Ra, and the celestial hawk has outspread wings behind thee. Great Lady, beloved of Ptah, Holy One, Powerful One, bless all those who dwell in thy realm of departed souls. Give us strength and love.
The whole company now falls silent, because not always does the goddess come. She comes not at our command, but at our own will. Suddenly, the veiled priestess is surrounded by light for those who could see it, with psychic vision. It is stronger than the ordinary aura, so it is palpable. It is golden light of Sekhmet, which surrounds her. And some say they can even see the form of some mighty being behind her. The priestess utters the words of the goddess.
Love needs must be approached with humility. Power must be gained through service. My followers in Egypt still kiss my stony face in my temple at Thebes, with simple faith that I may bestow upon them both love and riches. Control of the very passions which I ignite is necessary. Otherwise, unwary followers who pursue power and love are consumed by my fire. Control of the passions may come from the schooling of Thoth, god of wisdom, or from the contemplation of the goddess Mut. But my way is not of the mind, though I too bear wings. Rather it comes from within the body itself, whether this body be the round earth or the human's animal body. If you desire to extend your consciousness into the universe, feel and experience that part of the cosmos which is yours to know. Your body is nearest to you, so feel it, love it, heal it, and love the creatures around you through touch. The rough bark of a tree or the cool splash of water. It is by stroking a cat's fur and making her purr that you touch the cosmic rhythm. Some there are who willfully stroke a cat's fur the wrong way. These are the evil ones who disturb the universal heartbeat. Yet to me none of my children are evil, though they often pursue evil paths. Even these are subject to my sovereignty, and I rule as effectively through my sharp claws as I do by my softness. Enter fully into any sphere in which deity places you, and do not escape into the mind. For incarnation is an acceptance of total involvement. Some there are who live on earth and own a body without honoring the commitment. They despise the passions. Yet these are under my sway, and if I am too long gainsayed, I take a terrible revenge, for I possess these proud ones utterly. But to those who acknowledge my divinity, I present a different face. I am the Sphinx of the galaxy. My head is that of Virgo, serene and wise. My body is that of the noble Leo. and I bear the wings of a soaring hawk. I am what you make of me. My riddle is concealed within your heart.
The priesthood and all the assembled company give thanks to Sekhmet silently, folding their hands together. They leave the priestess slowly to recover from trance, while a fellow priestess gives her a glass of water. The first priest now, holding forth the crook of Osiris, addresses the companions.
Companions on the quest for nobler consciousness, we are here assembled in this holy temple to awaken the greatness of heart and strength bestowed by the goddess Sekhmet through her constellation Leo.
The first priestess now takes a taper from the priest and lights a central fire. It blazes up suddenly, and we remember that Lana's power is fire. She offers incense upon it, sprinkling incense on this fire, and the smoke reaches all.
I offer this incense to thee, the lion goddess Sekhmet, and to thee, her sister, the cat goddess Bast. Homage to thee, O Sekhmet Bast Ra, mistress of the gods, bearer of wings, thou lady of the red and green apparel. Thou art sovereign of her father, superior to whom the gods cannot be. Thou art the mighty one who utters the words of power in the boat of millions of years. Thou art preeminent, and riseth in the seat of silence, and art mistress of the tomb.
There must be balance. We have had incense of air and fire. So a second priestess, robed as Nephthys, with the moon upon her head, in silver robe, sprinkles water on the fire from her basin.
Accept this water, who art also the moon goddess Bast, with thy children safe in thy basket which is thy room. Mother in the horizon of heaven, gracious one, beloved, have mercy on us, thou who art protectress of women and of children and of all thy creatures of the wild. Thou art the destroyer of evil and of all that injured the divine order. Thou standest in the bow of the boat of Ra, and thou hast placed Mat, the goddess of truth, in the bow. Thou holdest the reed of sovereignty. Thou art the fire goddess, Ami Seshet, and art like a mighty flame.
At this point, the first priestess shakes the sistrum. Now we turn to the four quarters. The first priestess, having shaken her sistrum, hails the cobra goddess.
On thy brow thou bearest the cobra goddess Uchat Buto, that giveth the snake bite of ecstasy. Praise be unto thee, O Lady, who art mightier than the gods. Words of adoration rise unto thee from the 8 gods of Hermopolis. The living souls who dwell in the hidden places praise the mystery of Hermopolis. The living souls who dwell in the hidden places praise the mystery of thee, O thou who art their mother, the source from which they were born. Thou makest for them a place in the hidden underworld, who makest sound their bones and preserveth them from terror, who maketh them strong in the abode of everlasting life.
The first priest now sprinkles incense upon the altar and faces the northeast.
I offer this incense to thee, the lion-headed god Nefertum, son of the goddess Sekhmet, and of her divine husband, the god Ta. We hail thee, Nefertum Ku Taui, who holdest the lotus scepter crowned with plumes that giveth power, and the flail that winnows good from evil deeds. Thou riseth in the dawn from the nostrils of Ra, and thou doth go forth from the horizon on each day, and the gods are sanctified by the sight of thee.
The second priestess offers incense on the fire in the southeast.
I offer incense to thee, the lion goddess Alat. Thou dost pass through thy empire, Arulu, the dark land of departed souls, standing upon a mighty horse. When thou dost reach the borderland of thy realm to greet newly arrived souls, thou dost sail on an enchanted vessel which moves without sails or oars, with a prow as the beak of a bird. Thou hast the head of a lion, the body of a woman, and the claws of a bird of prey. In either hand thou dost bear a serpent, and on each side are thy children, 2 lions.
Here the second priest drops incense on the fire from the southwest.
I offer this incense to you, Shu and Tefnut, the primordial sphinxes, most ancient lion god and lion goddess, who stand at the break and the close of the passing days. Protect us at the coming in and the going forth by day and night. Praise be to thee, Shu, who with thy winds brings the boat of 1,000,000 years safely through the sky. Glory be to thee, his twin, Tefnut, who bringeth the rain that nourisheth the crops, and filleth the mighty river at Happy's hidden source. Thy children are Nuit, the sky, who archeth like the rainbow above her husband Geb, the earth, from whose divine union came forth Isis and Osiris. Divine twins at the beginning and at the end, give us balance in our quest for power and love.
Now the first priestess sprinkles water on the altar.
I offer this water to thee, Alat, who art goddess of the primordial waters, into whose bosom our earth is plunged. Thy realm is surrounded by 7 great walls, and is approached through 7 gates. None may achieve either power or passion without thee. Give us courage, then, to cross thy 7 thresholds. But when we reach thee, what may we find beneath thy lion mask? Art thou not also Alat, the merciful, the compassionate?
After these invocations at the quarters, the company meditate. Let us also do so on what we have heard. Meditate on the Lion power within you, the Lion, the Lioness, and Virgo on your peaceful countenance, controlling the passions with your mind and spirit. You are the Androsphinx. Whether you be man or woman, these two powers are in harmony. Feel the fire on you as you sit around the fire here. Feel it rise within you. You feel vital, energized. Evening sky is darkening. So the fire looks brighter. Now the darkness is illumined as the full moon comes from behind a cloud. Fire and moon are together. We are seated in deep meditation in the cypress grove of the moon goddess Isis and Diana. We remember again that this is the eve of the Opet festival of ancient Egypt, as the sun leaves the crab's Cancer and enters the sign of Leo, of the lion goddess Sekhmet. Sekhmet is the goddess of the mysterious lion power, which is within us all. Solemnly now, the priestess of the moon, Nephthys, moves around our circle as we are seated and anoints each brow with these words. May the moon goddess Nephthys awaken in you spiritual vision. This represents Virgo, for we know now that the true constellation of Leo is one with Virgo, who is the serene face of the goddess with the body of the lion, the Andros Sphinx. We wonder what is to come, that we are being soothed down with this water, for surely this is a ritual of Sekhmet. Another priestess of Isis joins Nephthys in anointing the brow, because there are many. There are 44 people here, actually. We hear her soft voice, as it were whispering to each. You have anointed your brow, but feel now the priestess whispering. May psychic and spiritual vision awaken within you the name of Isis. You feel it silvery tingling in your brow. You feel pure and at peace. This is well, because now the moment has come when the company are to invoke the goddess by having the courage to chant her holy name, which has been chanted 6,000 years ago in Memphis, in Egypt. Sekhmet. It is my privilege at this ceremony to call forth the lion power. Holy Sekhmet, bring to us thy flame within the golden sun which is beneath the earth. We feel the flames rising up from the heart of the earth, Corleonis, heart of the Lana, star royal, flame red fire. Bring us thy flame. Sisters, brothers, feel the power rise up from the earth. Let it rise and shine and warm our hearts with love. It consecrates our sacral centers. It blesses the base of our spine and the cobra. Buto begins to arise up our spine through our sacral center, through the center of Sekhmet, which is the solar plexus. We feel it rise now from the spine to the heart. But what is this? I invoke Mut, the vulture goddess. The royal goddess Mut descends upon us, the vulture-winged one, Holy Spirit, light divine. It descendeth upon the companions. It descendeth upon me, purely, beautifully. The light of the white spirit of Mut descends upon your head as softly as a bird. The white bird of Mut descends until it joins the fire of Sekhmet, and both are one. Once more the companions chant to blend the radiations with Mut and Sekhmet. Sekhmet. Powers are blended. Now we feel the golden hawk of the sun, Horus, consort of Sekhmet, within our hearts, and we call upon the god Horus Ra. We call now upon the god of the moon, consort of Isis and of Nephthys, Khonsu, Khonsu. White power on the head is perfectly blended with Isis and Nephthys and Khonsu, and with Sekhmet and with Horus Ra. Our whole auras are irradiated. First priest solemnly approaches the fire. Round it, in a star shape, are 44 unlighted torches. He lights a red candle which he places in the south. Then he places his torch into the fire and holds it aloft.
Behold this lighted red candle. Gaze upon its flame and see in it the symbol of the Cor Leonis, heart of the lion. Star royal, flame, red fire are titles of noble Regulus that shines in the lion. The Magi of Nineveh inscribed upon their clay tablets, if the Lucida of the lion is gloomy, the heart of the people will not rejoice. This ardent star of kings rules the affairs of heaven. The Indians call it Maha, the mighty. It is the house of the moon, the eighth asterism, the nakshatra, and rules the royal stars of the lion's head. These guardians of heaven mark the 4 cardinal points.
At this point, 2 priestesses and 2 priests plunge their torches into the fire, and they hold them aloft at the 4 quarters.
I invoke the deity of Hastarang, guardian of the north.
I invoke the deity of Toshchiter, the guardian of the east.
I invoke the spirit of Venant, guardian of the south.
I invoke the deity of Satibis, guardian of the west.
Now all the companions plunge torches into the fire and form a circle of 44 lights. The first priestess calls upon them.
Let us draw power and love from the heart of our divine Mother of all, Sekhmet, Bast, Ra.
Sekhmet, Bast, Ra. Sekhmet, Bast, Ra. The companions of their lighted torches dance. They dance in a circle and then a spiral dance. First, they draw power with their hands from the central fire. When they have done that, they coil the other way, the path of the moon, to send forth the power to all. Come and join with me, why not? We dance round and round this fire, you and I drawing power from the central fire. We can imagine we're holding lighted torches. I was, after all. We hold then the lighted torches in this path of the sun, drawing power. Then we go the other way, which is widdershins, from right to left, which is the path of the moon, the sending forth. And as we do this, we send forth good to all creatures. First of all, we send good to humankind.
Companions, let us share the love and power we feel within us with all the children of the goddess, for without sharing, the holy flame consumes itself and dies.
Now a priest calls upon blessing upon the four-footed ones, the animals.
I call now for the blessings of all deity upon all the four-leggeds who walk on Grandmother Earth, the winged ones who fly high in the heavens, also the swimmers of the seas and the waters, and the crawlers who hop and slither across the face of the earth. I call for blessings on all creatures of the earth.
Now a priestess calls blessing upon the earth itself and all our polluted elements, that they may be cleansed.
We invoke the powers of the healing for the planet Earth, in all of her dimensions, in her waters and her lands, for the membrane surrounding the Earth, for the Earth's very aura itself. We invoke the powers of the healings and the blessings on our beloved planetary mother, the Earth.
Now you too send forth love and healing outwards for any special intention you have as you dance. The idea that one has to be static healing is nonsense. You have a power flow in you. Oh, some do love to do it in meditation, but Sekhmet does it actually. So imagine yourself dancing to the sound of the sistrum and sending forth blessing to any cause or people you have at heart. Dance, dance, feel the Sekhmet power in you. As they dance, they feel an electric-like power. Feel this electric-like power moving through you in a flame-like glow and coloured lights. Feel this purity of light, of colour, through you. Slowly, one by by one the companions drop to the ground and sit comfortably, leaning against a tree. Imagine yourself now, pretty hot by now, having danced, even if it's winter, it's summer here. And the first priestess draws the attention of the company to the sky, where a few stars are appearing.
Behold the Anthroposphinx herself. Companions, let us contemplate the symbols of Leo and Sekhmet, so that we may touch on the sphere of omnipotence and love of the lion goddess. With your inner eye and creative imagination, animate these symbols given us by the sages, associated with the constellations. The lion is rampant across the sky, with the stars Zosma and Zazma flaming in his waving mane. From his mighty paws he sends forth showers of meteors, the Leonids. In his curving tail shines the blue star Denebola, named by the Chinese Wu Pitsu, seat of the 5 empresses, and by the Indians the star of the goddess Bahu, the creating mother. Brightly shines the diamond of Virgo, formed by this very Denebola, along with Arcturus, silvery spiky, and Corcardi. Mark well the 4 ancient cardinal points known to mariners, Fomalhaut in the north, Regula in the south, flaming Aldebaran in the east, and red Antares in the west. Behold the Anthroposphinx herself. Poets and artists and visionaries saw her shining in the night sky, with Virgo for her head and Leo for her body. She is also Neshta, the lioness flanked by 2 lions, Besu and Neshu. The pharaoh, Seti I, had depicted the temple of Hathor at Dendera. She is shown as a woman with her left hand holding the tail of a lion, her right hand brandishing a flail. Thus she rules Virgo and Leo in the ancient Egyptian zodiac.
Picture the great goddess Sibyl, ruler of Aquarius and Leo, driving across the dark sky in her bright chariot drawn by lions. Above Leo, observe the beautiful constellation of Callisto, the bear goddess, whom the Chaldeans call Bel, the beautiful. Nearby are the golden locks of Bernice's hair and the lynx. Below is Leo Minor, a constellation sacred to the god Ta, husband of Sekhmet. And beneath the lion is the monster Hydra, with the chalice and the crow within its coils.
Know that this starry sky that ever surrounds our earth, above and below and around about, is no less than the land of darkness, Aralu, ruled by the goddess Alat. We are the living dead, the souls dwelling in the depths of the mother's 7th and lowest realm. We are feeble and mortal, for we have forgotten our divine birth. Now in silence, let the little flame awakened in our hearts be strengthened by our mother's omnipotence and love, which encompasses all those to whom she has given birth. Stars, planets, humans, animals, plants, and elements. So may we awaken and rejoice through her 7 spheres of consciousness.
There's a few moments of silence as we feel the inner flame. Now the company rises and the priest gives thanks.
We give thanks to Sekhmet, Basht, Ra. We give thanks to Nefertum. We give thanks to Aleph. We give thanks to Shu and Tefnut.
The company now bring their torches from the fire of Sekhmet, still blazing, right down the yew walk, far from the Lanus, to the temple of Isis, where they extinguish their torches in her open portico in a basin of water. Fire and water are one. Leo and Mut are one. And we honor the sacred trinity of Sekhmet Basht Ra, of the power of the sun, and her consort Ta, the creator, architect god, and their divine son, Khonsu, the moon. But even as I speak to you, the figures here in their lovely robes begin to look rather like ghosts. You and I watch them form a procession back to the temple of Isis. We know they go back to enjoy their festival, their feast. But you do not belong to this time. You belong to the future. Come now, come with me, and rise gently into the air. Look down on the old grey castle, which looks a little misty, and rise a little higher so we can look down on the yew walk, this long line of yews, black now in the darkness of night, and we hardly can see the cypress grove. It is concealed. We see these woods, and then we recognize a silvery river we saw before, the river Derry of the grove of oak trees. And we rise higher and see that it joins the river Slaney, and these flow out to the Irish Sea. You need to return now to your own time and place. Yes, make a sound yourself. Come back to your earthly body and slip into yourself like a hand slips into a glove. You're back now in your own body, in your present, my future. I'm in the past. But I'll come with you into your future, and I'll be a voice. Remember what I suggested before. Do come back and drink water and don't rush out into traffic. You have much to meditate on, always remembering to keep your psychic centers in balance. Now I'll tell you the principal people who helped me to enact this drama, which in verity has so many people, but these enacted it to join with you. They were Morgan Le Fay, Priestess Hierophant of the Lyceum of the Veiled Isis, and her husband, Kent Benedict, co-founder and Priest Hierophant, and the Reverend Shasta Zering, also Priestess Hierophant, with her Lyceum of the Cosmic Isis and Sekhmet. And you may be interested to know that she performed this ritual in attunement with a group in Egypt who practiced the ancient Egyptian religion. And to my delight and honor, they performed the rite on an ancient Egyptian sacred site. With me was Lawrence Durden Robertson, my brother, and we both say to you, Ave, Salve, Vale.